Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Pimanandi Jaya Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vraj Gacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charan Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Skanda Bhiti Founder Charyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Samavata Bhakti Vrinda ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Nitai Gaura Bhimanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksharanmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Pajitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Satyam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamasloke Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, it becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Dhamma Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyaya Namahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Mukam karoti vachanam pangum langayate grim yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. We are continuing from Canto 1, Chapter 6. Narada in conversation with Vyasadeva. And text number 13, 1-3. Nala 13. 13. Yeah, 13. Nala Venu Saras Tamba Kusha Kitsaka Gabaram Eka Evatiyato Aham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nalavenu Saraswatamba Nalavenu Saraswatamba Kusha Kitsaka Gavaram Eka Evatiyato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nalavenu Sarasatanba Kusa Kitsaka Gavaram Eka Evatiyato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nalavenu Sarasatanva Kusha Kitsaka Gavaram Eka Evatiyato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nalavenu Sarastanva Kusha Kitsaka Gavaram Eka Evatiyato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nalavenu Sarastamba Kusha Kitsaka Gavaram Eka Evatiyato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pratibhayakaram Vyaloluka Shivajiram Nala pipes, Venu, bamboo, Sadaha, pens, Tamba, full of, Kusha, sharp grass, Kitsaka, weeds, Gavaram, caves, Ekaha, alone, Eva, only, Atiyataha, difficult to go through, Aham, I, Adraksham, visited, Vipinam, deep forest, Mahat, great, Ghoram, fearful, pratibhaya akaram, dangerously, vyala, snakes, uluka, owls, shiva, jackals, ajiram, playgrounds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. Kindly repeat after me. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes or rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. Purport. It is the duty of a mendicant, Parivrajakacharya, to experience all varieties of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, towns, villages, etc., to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. A sannyasi is duty bound to take all these risks without fear, and the most typical sannyasi of the present age is Lord Chaitanya, who traveled in the same manner through the central Indian jungles, enlightening even the tigers, bears, snakes, deers, elephants, and many other jungle animals. In this age of Kali, sannyasa is forbidden for ordinary men. One who changes his dress to make propaganda is a different man from the original ideal sannyasi. One should, however, take the vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. The change of dress is only a formality. Lord Chaitanya did not accept the name of a sannyasi, and in this age of Kali, the so-called sannyasis should not change their former names, following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy glories of the Lord is strongly recommended. And one who takes the imitate the Pravrikacharya like Narada or Lord Chaitanya, I'm sorry, I'll read that again. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy names of the Lord is strongly recommended. And one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrakacharya like Narada or Lord Chaitanya, but may sit down at some holy place and devote his whole time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant the Holy Scriptures. Translation again. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. Mm. Mm. So Narada is describing what he did, continuing to describe how he traveled through different places, different countries, all alone. And in the purport, of course, Prabhupada is mentioning that it is the duty and responsibility of sannyasi, mendicants, to travel, and if one is actually committed, surrendered, then one will not experience fear, but rather will totally be dependent on uh, on the Supreme Lord. Of course, that instruction is not only for sannyasis, that instruction is for everyone. The sannyas yoga is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. We must learn to surrender more and more. And Prabhupada cites, of course, the nice example of Lord Chaitanya, which is nicely described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya passing through the forest of Jarikanda. It's only a few years ago that the forest of Jarikanda, which used to be part of Bihar, so now there is division, Bihar and Jharkhand. So Jharkhand is referring to Jarikanda forest. One can visit actually the footprints, that place where Lord Chaitanya, some temple is there, some sadhus, they are performing kirtan, and it's quite still very much, Jharkhand is still very much forest. One can get lost in the forest very easily, and it is very dangerous also, all kinds of animals. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we hear from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because he was totally absorbed in chanting the holy name, totally fearless, he attracted and even made some of these ferocious animals chant and dance in ecstasy. Mm. Mm. Prabhupada does mention here, he also has mentioned in other places that actually the order of sannyas is not recommended in the stage of Kali. Uh, we have seen many examples, the dangers that are there in taking sannyas, and of course, Prabhupada gave sannyas. Prabhupada himself took sannyas. His own Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, also took sannyas. So Prabhupada used to explain taking sannyas is primarily for the purpose of preaching the mission of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is again prime example. At a young age, took sannyas. So that because sannyas is respected order, and generally people will be following the good examples and instructions given by sannyasis. But at the end, actually, Prabhupada mentions that, how does he put it? One who takes a vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrajacharya like Narada or Lord Chaitanya, but may sit down in some holy place and devote his whole life and energy for hearing and chanting. So Prabhupada actually wanted those who leave family life should come to places like Mayapur and Vrindavan, and simply fix their mind in activities of devotional service. Actually, those in Vanaprastha, they are traditionally very helpful. I mean, they can take up various kinds of service, especially teaching us. Vanaprastha means having experienced family life. So normally one stays in family life generally 25 years or so. And having renounced family life, then one actually can contribute especially in the area of teaching or helping in different ways, because India is a special place of so many holy places, so many places of pilgrimage. And of course, the primary purpose of holy places is to become more and more fixed and absorbed in, in Krishna consciousness. So both are there actually. We cannot everyone just stay in holy places. I mean, Prabhupada was already in a holy place of Vrindavan, and he left. He took sannyas in Vrindavan, Mathura, primarily for the purpose of preaching. So preaching remains very important aspect. Actually, for sannyasis is the primary aspect for sannyasis. So the story continues here, or the storyline, as they say. We'll continue a few more verses unless there's some question here.
Maharaj, do you want to teach sannyasis also?
Hmm?
Do you want to teach young or persons who have aspires for sannyasi? It's in your schedule.
Whether we will be, well, that's part of Varnashram College, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to create a jungle.
Forest, yeah. Well, there are many banana orchards.
Without joking, so
Yeah.
what would be the schedule for teaching sannyasis? Of course, the part of Vedas have to learn, but in behavior, how to teach persons who want to become sannyasis to prepare for them for their service.
What to teach or how to prepare one to be
Yeah.
a sannyasi. Huh? Yeah. First and foremost, the sannyasi should be very strong in his sadhana, should be very ideal in his character, behavior, and interaction with devotees and society in general. And sannyasi especially, this is one aspect we're trying to introduce, that we will introduce, especially in the Varnashram college. Having a very a clear understanding of the overall mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as presented and explained by all of the acharyas who have come after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in particular understanding as Srila Prabhupada, presented. In other words, preparing individuals to to travel, especially what is very urgently needed, and something we are kind of neglecting or not understanding its importance, sending potential sannyasis, once they have basic understanding of the mission, sending them in villages, because Vedic culture cannot be revived unless we reestablish properly the villages. And of course, unless one knows to do, unless one knows what to do when going to villages, of course, Lord Chaitanya basically induced people to chant the holy name, which is the basic activity. But in our present context, like 500 years ago, Vedic culture more or less was in place, although there were many abuses or exploitation. But majority of people were living in village. Majority of people had cows. Majority of people were uh, following the Vedic system of economy by depending on the land, depending on cows, like that. So this needs to be reintroduced, and one of the important activities for sannyasis. Mm. We are in our ISKCON society. We're especially emphasizing. We have courses like Bhakti Shastri. Prabhupada himself uh, gave us these different levels, Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhakti Vedanta and um, Sarvabhauma. These in addition to this, we need to introduce um, courses in what I would say Dharma Shastri, Dharma. Um, unless we have a good and clear understanding of Dharma, then we will not be so effective. For bhakti, bhakti is very much part of Sanatana Dharma, but in our present modern day context, we have forgotten some basic aspects of Dharma uh, in terms of how to live, how to uh, take care of the land, how to take care of the cows, how to take care of other living entities, etc. But it will actually in the essay of Gita Nagari, I think I mentioned this before, Srila Prabhupada was telling that we will not encourage people to be brahmacharis. So then the question is then how to make sannyasis. Sannyasis is there. It's one of the 4 ashrams, and um, there's a need for proper training and education, and I think the important aspect, as I tried to explain, is really clearly understanding the mission and what needs to be done at this particular time. Actually, our acharyas are acharyas because they understand. Of course, they all have the same understanding of the basic philosophy of Krishna consciousness, but they will stress certain aspects according to Kala Desha Patra. And Prabhupada was very expert in Kala Desha Patra, time, place, and circumstance. For example, in the very beginning, he was mainly focusing on creating brahmanas, isn't it? And as we know, then Prabhupada considered that, of course, and it is also the most important, giving a head back to society. Headless society cannot function properly. At the same time, Srila Prabhupada explained, we can see through the different periods that he introduced Krishna consciousness. Then he spoke of the importance of also training the other members of the society in addition to Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So that's something that that's missing in many ways, actually, at present, and therefore that's an important aspect, I would say. For someone to actually be sannyasi, of course, it applies to all disciples. All disciples are meant to deepen their understanding of what is the mission, what is the desire of Guru. That is the perfection of a disciple, to nicely understand the desires, the mentality, the mood and mentality of the spiritual master. So that will involve not only theoretical practice, but also in what we are planning to introduce, there will be what we call field work also. Going out, some preaching. I mean, Prabhupada from the very beginning, although our devotees, early devotees, that was one of the main activities, to go out and chant, distribute books, and meet people, have engagements. In the early days, we had engagements in schools and colleges. Prabhupada himself. That is still very much needed, but if we don't, we are still missing the whole dimension of villages. One time Prabhupada wrote to one devotee. Prabhupada was about to come to India, and he told that devotee, you please arrange a car. When I come to India, I want to travel to the villages. We tend to either not understand or underestimate, or therefore neglect, the importance of villages. We have some devotees from Bengal who come. Boy, he's from Hooghly, Singur. Yeah. So they were here. They come every week. So they were mentioning how now practically the villages are destroyed. Everywhere you see is like cement buildings. All the roads are covered. Now they have big buses. People find it more convenient. Usually people had to walk. Now they made nice pucca roads so that the big buses can come. It's like city, Yeah. So we have lost the sense of actually what village life is meant to be.
So this Food for Life program would be nice medium.
Which
This Food for Life program,
Food for Life?
because that one team goes out, have distribute food, so people are coming. So then one sannyasi or one prepared teacher
Yeah,
should start to help them.
yeah. That we want to distribute food that is grown by devotees.
Yeah.
And yeah, from the very beginning, Prabhupada emphasized the importance of, well, so often he would repeat, first is food. So first is food means wholesome food. Wholesome food comes when we understand the importance of Mother Bhumi and the need to protect her and to live in harmony with nature like that.
Mm.
Yeah, you were mentioning that the other day about Food for Life. Yes. Definitely. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Yeah.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki,
Yeah.
Gaura Pimanandi, Hare Krishna. There's a couple who are doing that, eh? One couple, Food for Life, some devotees.